Reality and Chill with Kenny.
And Nishi, how's it going, Kenny?
It's going pretty good. Yeah, Sunday, finishing off the week pretty well. How about you?
Same. Oh, it's nice to be Sunday. Just relaxed at the moment, but I'm
Yeah,
so hanging to get into Next Gen NYC episode 3. We're up to.
yeah. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. When I reflected back on this episode, all my memories were about Riley and Charlie and just that whole setup in New Jersey. But then I actually went and rewatched it, and there was so much there. It's chockers. Like each episode is absolutely chockers. So yeah, there's quite a lot to unpack. Where do you want to start?
Yeah. Oh, well, should we just get straight into the Charlie and the Riley? I feel
Okay,
like
I
we should
love
talk
that.
about
Yeah,
Charlie. There's a lot going on with Charlie.
there's a lot going on with Charlie.
Yeah, like, I mean, even just if we start with the Charlie and his mum, like, I loved meeting his mum, and I know you said you did too,
I, I,
right?
I really did as well. I think, but it also, my heart started to bleed a little bit for Charlie. Like I could, instead of, he's 27, right? So you kind of want him to be doing better than the other kids, and he clearly isn't. But I don't think he's that Nepo baby I thought of before. I think watching that interaction, I think maybe that more wealthy background on the mum's side, this new wealth finance coming together, so opposites attract. They've had
Mm,
Charlie, and Charlie has not thrived.
right.
So, but he isn't your classic kind of, getting money like each week, like we see on Southern Charm with that kind of generational wealth. Although that's there, I think on his mum's side, maybe his dad's side too. I just think it's quite a different dynamic. So, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you just start to learn more and more about
Mm,
his behavior and why he is how he is. Hey, like, obviously, he's like in that conversation with his mum and the mum's boyfriend. It's like you hear how much he wants his own dad's validation. And
yeah.
how he was talking about whatever that show was. And he's like, he clearly just wants his dad validation. He just wants, and it's crazy. Well, it's not crazy,
It's
but
it's like a life lesson though, that you have to give yourself what you need. And that's part of it. Like people will not, you can't force. That's another area of control, right? And he's hurt people. So he really needs to repair himself so he stops
mm,
hurting others around him.
mm,
But I have empathy for him
yeah,
100% after this episode. Whereas before I was just like, oh, you're the type of brat I can't stand. Now, but you're a bad boy, so I'm kind of intrigued. Now I'm actually like, oh, you're just a kid, and I just see you as just another kind of human struggling and not having that self-awareness to realize that his dad will never give him what he needs. And
mm,
it's a big lesson for everybody out there. You have to give yourself what you need. Like you can't really be relying
on
on an
someone else.
external
Mm,
present. It needs to come from within,
yeah,
so yeah, with Charlie, now I'm not as excited to see his downfall. I still think there's going to be a massive downward trajectory. I'm
mm,
now more frightened because I think it's
mm.
very real, and it could go in a very dark space very quickly, I think.
I know. And I just feel like it explains his sort of, like you said, the vicious behavior. He calls his dad vicious. And I'm like, yeah, this is what he's seen and known. And that's why he can be
Yeah,
so vicious to other people.
yeah.
He travels in these very rich circles. It's different lifestyle. One so
So
different,
different.
right? The mum's so like obviously well off and artsy, and you see the artsy boyfriend, and
Yeah.
actually hearing how his mum wasn't around when they were younger, and the dad, having to take full custody, and
10 years
he,
old, you're still so young.
yeah,
No, no, no. That
formative
that
years. That's
that
full
has
on,
really damaged him. That's a class, that's full on abandonment stuff. So it must have been.
absolutely,
Didn't they split as well when he
yeah,
was 3? Was that
really
the age
young.
he
I can't
was?
remember you probably,
So those formative years are happening.
yep,
Like, yeah, there's just you can just see there's layers. There's a lot of layers there. One of the things I've picked up, which I found incredible, and is just such worlds away. The fact that the school he went to, they were taught Sanskrit. Like,
oh,
just
I forgot
I
about
would
that,
love that with my complete focus on ancient civilization and stuff, to learn something like Sanskrit. I mean, this is beyond Latin, right? Like
Right.
Sanskrit that is nuts to me.
I
But yeah,
know.
I just think, again, it's kind of sidetracking, but does that kind of go into this theme that you have these secular groups like Skull and Bones and all these other kind of weird groups going on that have gone since the beginning of time, and straight away my like tinfoil hat came out and I was like, what type of school is teaching kids Sanskrit and why?
Right.
Like it
Yeah,
was just
okay.
like ding 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 ding.
Different world, huh? Like these little
Different
pockets that
worlds.
we are not
Yeah.
privy to. We're not privy to this sort of stuff, but it does open up your eyes and makes you wonder, huh? You can go down a
Oh,
rabbit hole.
it's wonderful to have a glimpse in. It
I love
really
it.
is, and just to see that it's just other humans doing human stuff at the end of the day, all trials and tribulations with these kind of, what would you say, like you've just got these data points that might be different, i.e., money and certain experiences, but the human experience is really consistent regardless.
It is across the
Like
board.
it's
Yeah.
quite amazing. It really is
Yeah.
quite amazing.
It doesn't
Um,
matter the culture, the class, the background, nationality. Yeah, I know what you're
no,
saying.
not at all.
Um,
Yeah.
really, one thing I picked up on with Charlie as well is that I feel like as mean as he can be to like his peers, he's actually really respectful to his elders. So, for example, he didn't want to catch up with Seth. I don't know. We want to go there
Really
into
didn't. It was so much fun.
Seth Kisigal. But he has actually, respect enough to show up hungover. He knows this conversation could go left, right, and center. The whole Chloe thing happened. But he actually showed up. Like, kudos. A lot of people, I feel like in this generation, they don't necessarily have that respect to even show up to something like that. If they don't want to do it, they want to do it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know. And even when he was politely declining with that psychic, he goes, not for me. I'm gonna politely decline. I thought that was really still somewhat respectful. Like he doesn't want to do it and he's fighting it, but he still says it in a nice way. I
Yeah,
thought that
no,
was
I agree. There's sort of layers there, isn't there? There's part of you that kind of really wants to root for him and like him,
yeah.
because you do see that there's a nice kid underneath there, which is probably why Seth is reaching out in the first place, right? And
Mm,
why, but it sort of shows me as well, like how much together are all these 22-year-olds. It's like a generational thing as well, where just that kindness,
mm,
that awareness about these microaggressions, how to talk to friends, how to be vulnerable. It's so beautiful. It's just
mm,
amazing. It gives me so much hope for the future. And yet just that slight difference of 27-year-old just not with it. Like Adriana, she would have had some real trials and tribulations in her life, completely different kid. So
mm-hmm.
there's something about being super sensitive and just how much that can screw you over as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie is a super sensitive kid. And so all that defensive and all those layers and being so defensive
Yep.
is just because yeah, it's part of his survival techniques.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's very interesting. Very interesting. Like as much as like when he's
So
bratty
good.
and arrogant, it annoys the crap out of me. But you know what? I actually liked he actually apologized to Ariana. I want to say Ariana and Hudson. I was surprised by that little sort of flash over to the
I just
apology.
mm,
Well, you don't believe it?
like we saw how he apologized later to Riley, right? So
Yeah,
I
I know
just think
that's true.
he's just going to, like, when he's realized he's lost the fight, like he wanted to create a bit of drama, right? Now, if he'd gotten away with that and he could have turned people against
He would
Ariana
have.
and Hudson, he would have, right? So it's
Yeah,
like a bit of a
true.
power dominating move. And then but he
Mm,
doesn't really care, right? He's not actually that invested. So when it doesn't work, he's really happy to jump ship as well.
true. That's true. That's true. Should
So
we talk?
Georgia
Yeah.
knows him best. There's no doubt about it. Georgia knows him
Yeah.
best, and I think Georgia's got a bit of a crush on him. So that whole thing of when they went back with her, and I sort of picked that up from the very first episode when they were in their interview type of thing, the two of them, and she's like, and you could see her body language and how there was just nothing coming back. So loyalty all way, yeah, all one way there. Yeah, so
She definitely has a crush on him. You're so right. When she was not happy when he went with the other girls.
I kind of like that she's pretty loosey-goosey and gets drunk and stuff,
She's
which
funny.
I don't think you're going to see that in season 2 because I think, you know, she'll want to clean up her act. But right now, I kind of appreciate that we're seeing the real side of, like, you know, clubbing in New York City or Brooklyn. It's great.
I know, going out with 7 glasses of wine. She's like, "I've had, like, 7 glasses of wine."
It's like 2 bottles.
It's
Jeez.
wild. How is she standing?
And wine is the worst as
Oh,
well. Like,
yeah.
but then you think about Ramona, like how she could just
Oh,
lay them
Pinot
back.
Grigio.
I feel like, is it a climate thing? Like, I can't, if I have just a few glasses of wine, I'm like messy. It's
Yeah.
not, it's, you know,
Yeah. No, after 3, nah. Like, I just can't. Like, yeah, it's not good. I can't
Like
do it anymore. I literally won't.
in New York, it must be the geographical space on the earth that you can just drink as much wine as you want. And I know, like, in, you know, different parts of Manhattan and stuff where they start they're drinking their champagne for breakfast regularly. Like, brunch is a real thing there. And it's just like, if I have a couple of glasses of champagne, I need a nap like that afternoon. You know,
Siesta.
like these women, these New York broads, I'm into it. I want a little bit of that.
It's a different lifestyle, hey? They
It
don't
really
mess
is.
around. They don't mess
Yeah.
around. It's like Luann as well. Like Luann, Sonia, the girls. Like, mate, they know, but you know what? They look so good. Can I just say? I just saw a quick flash of like Luann on her Instagram, and mate, they go out. They still do all these things, but they look amazing at their age. Like, kudos,
The
kudos.
Love Hotel, like, just seeing she's such a formidable woman. I love Luann so much. She is everything. But,
She's
like,
so
anyway, I
funny.
was just looking at her arms. I've got a real fascination with arms because I've been working out, like, my arms a lot. And so I'm just fixated on women in their 50s and 60s and just, you know, how much weights training they've been doing, and it's really sexy. I think, like, older women with strong physiques, and Luann is that. She's this kind of bohemian, kind of Amazonian, tall, strong. Oh God, I love her, and yeah, can take a few as well. Like, can really handle her drinks.
She can. It's like,
Mm,
honestly, hats off. Hats off. It
yeah.
must be a New York thing.
Mm.
Ah, okay, so yeah, we talked about, actually, you know what? Perfect. We should go into Charlie and the whole microaggression thing, because that's when he went off with those girls, or he met those girls, and that's when Riley confronted the girls and said, "Hey, well, why haven't you spoken to us or
Because I
introduced?"
actually did notice it the episode before as well. I was like, oh, it's interesting that Riley hasn't brought that up. Like, I noticed when Georgios had said, oh, well, oh, you're getting a bit scary. I was like, oh, interesting that she used it. So I sort
Oh,
of picked
right.
it up then. So the
Yeah,
fact that
right.
Riley was talking about it, I thought was completely valid. And
Mhm.
I thought it was a great opportunity for them to all listen. Her voice went into Candy's voice as well, with that, like, did you notice that
I
emotion
didn't,
kind
but
of
yeah.
pitch? It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was like listening to Candy when her heart is just breaking and she can't
Oh,
let
in the
stuff go
Sprinter
like
van.
that.
Yep.
Yes, in the
Yep.
Sprinter van, right? She's just
Yep.
trying to explain herself.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was completely valid, was my feelings about it. But obviously, not
Absolutely.
being a black woman, it's not my place to say. But to me, that seemed completely authentic, you know. And you know, for Charlie to just not want to listen sucks. It just sucks, you know,
I
for
know.
him and for Riley.
I know. And I just think, like, you can see his mind going, oh, as soon as sort of Riley unfolds what she's trying to say, he's like, oh, well, like, he can see what path it's going down. And you can see that he doesn't want it to go down that sort of racism path. And he's like, whoa, like, where is this going? That wasn't my intention, da da da. But not actually sitting and listening and just being like, I'm so sorry if that's what happened. Like, yeah, he kind of apologized in you know, that's what he sort of says. But it's just like acknowledging how it makes her feel. And it's not just an isolated incident. This happens to her all the time, right? And
It's having an inquiry mindset. Like, just inquire. It doesn't matter what your friends are saying. This is what I'm learning now. It's just find out where they're coming from. But I think that defensive thing, if you're in a state of defense, right, which he obviously is, trauma in his background or whatever, maybe being very sensitive, he means that to get to him, it's probably best not to do it in a group situation. Like, how could Riley still get the message across, right? Like, you wonder, like, what would work for somebody like Charlie? And maybe with Riley, she was emotional. She has every right to bring it up whenever she wants to. But to get through to somebody like Charlie, maybe it's better quietly when he's not hungover on his own from the heart,
Mm.
maybe. But I
Mm.
mean, it's really not up to Riley to have to make that safe space for Charlie.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But I'm just trying to get to solution mode, like,
Yeah, I know.
because it sucks that it wasn't resolved and that Charlie never heard what's going on. I love that Ava's coming in now to bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I think that was really cool, and I think she always tries to help. She always tries to like get through to him one on one. And I mean, the first time I think at the start of the episode, she was talking about the whole Brooks thing on the couch, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah, cool. Maybe I should be a bit more. Maybe he does care. Maybe I should." So you could see he's quite responsive to Ava, but when it all unfolded in Gia's house, I thought with the one on one conversation, I think we all thought, okay, great conversation. He apologized, he heard, someone, and then for him to just go around and straight after
But,
say to Georgia.
part of that, this is the thing, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it felt like an authentic conversation. Then it felt like Georgia wanted to dare him a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it felt, and so
What do you
that's when
mean?
he sort of said, like, dare him a little bit, like, got like, as in, what, you apologized, like, as in, so
Really?
you remember that conversation when
I can't.
they're in that little
Yeah, they're in the
beach kind of
cabana, but I can't remember what she
cabana.
said. Yeah, what did she say? Did she
She
say
said,
something?
yeah, I would have to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah.
So I can't remember exactly, and I might be wrong here, but my feeling is that Georgia might know how Charlie's going to behave ahead of time. And so she was a bit pissed off from the other night. So she brought this to it's like a dare, like, oh, what,
Poking him a little bit, yeah.
like that's not your style type of thing. You're like, you literally, and that's when he kind of went, no, I was just faking it. Like, I was just telling her what she wanted to hear. I feel like Georgia knew she was going to get that response when she did that line of inquiry with Charlie.
Okay. I need to go play that back then.
I think it's really because she was still pissed off about the fact that I wouldn't be surprised if those two have slept together.
Oh, no, yeah, I wouldn't either. No way.
So there's a lot of stuff going on in that relationship.
Underlying. Yeah. Yes, I think his ego was probably bruised quite a bit. He's got a bit of an ego. For him to actually apologize multiple times is not easy for him to do. And so after that, like whether it's not Charlie, Georgia poking him or whatnot, he was just like, I think he was playing it off. I actually think he probably was authentic in that conversation with Riley, and then afterwards he's playing up.
That's what it felt like. And that's what I mean. I feel like Georgia is the one that poked that triggered that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think then it's like, oh, he's now what are you going to do, Charlie? Like, you're just being a brat. Like, so he was sort of showing off in front of his friends in a way. But like, it's just not the right time to do that. And being authentic with Riley, that it's, now his exit, but number one, can we actually talk as well? But yeah, his exit from New Jersey, it was so funny, like the fact that he doesn't know how to use a child's door tells you a lot as well about what type of childhood he's had. If you've never, or what type of family unit you've been around, like who hasn't seen one of those doors, or is it different in aristocratic kind of, and really rich Arab kind of spaces? I don't know. Like maybe there's different technology or something, but it's a common theme that you see. And it's like New Jersey's very down to earth. So is it that this just doesn't exist in like real wealth? I don't know.
And he literally jumps over.
He literally doesn't know how to use it. He's like, oh my God, the tarot readers are costing me. So
the tarot readers there. I can't get out. These guys are giving me, crap for not apologizing. I need out. Fight or flight, man. He was like flight.
Definitely. Yeah. 100% he was. So funny.
Yeah, I mean, sad to say. And you see Ava got really annoyed in the end as well. She's like, well, I can't help you. I'm not getting through to you. There's only so much you can coach people, right? Not that it's her job, but she was even over it. Everyone's just like, come on. And you can see the girls and Brooks, like the girls and the gays, kind of talking about it at the end, going, and they've all now had this individual experiences with this. Brooks, the Riley and Ava is sort of implicated in that. Like, they're all going, what the heck, Gia, and then Ariana. They've all got their own experience with Charlie acting up and being disrespectful to all of them.
Yeah. Yeah,
Not
that's
going to
right.
turn out well for Charlie in
No,
this
there's
script.
going to be, and because he is such a defensive kid, it's going to be interesting to see what his path forward is.
Whether he just
Yeah.
leaves, because I feel like somebody like that is just going to be like, I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. He won't stick
Yeah,
it out.
yeah, or like how Jordan that cajoled him. Like he won't know that they're all speaking badly about him at this point, right? He won't
Yeah.
know. And they're such nice kids that they're not going to go and now use that as a card against him. They literally have true concerns about him, which
Yeah,
is
true.
interesting. Like Brooks talking to his dad, obviously, Seth coming in to try and coach him, trying to say like I'm proud of you. All of that stuff means that these kids have told their own parents who are also, so it's just not they're such lovely kids. They're like leave no one behind. Like even though he kind of deserves to be dumped at this point for multiple offenses, I would have dumped him like
Yeah.
episode 2, I think,
No,
or 1.
me too. Me
Like
too.
I was so quick, and these kids are so much nicer. They're such better versions
Yeah.
than myself. It's so
That's so
lovely to see, and just that they're ready to try it. Like I say, leave no man behind. Like so, yeah, we'll see. I think they will try to win him over. Like
hopefully.
his good side. Yeah.
I'm excited to see how he comes back after season 1, like watches himself, whether he actually whether there's an ounce of change in season 2 if he comes back. Let's
Mm.
see how he takes it, it can go either way. Yeah, interesting. Charlie. Can we talk about Charlie and Seth?
Yeah, we must. Like was one of the most uncomfortable but funny scenes.
Seth is
I
hilarious.
loved it. Like Seth is funny, but it was really awkward him talking about pansexual. Okay, there's so much. I mean, I want to unpack Seth and Brooks because that
Yes.
conversation was
First.
super uncomfortable as well. And like, I want to be your mother. That's the next best thing to, like just
I never heard that before.
his competitive stuff with Meredith. Like it's annoying, right? So it's kind of funny, but for a kid who doesn't really want to talk about, and he's got a different relationship with his mother. Like, I know you think it's comedy, Seth, but it's actually uncomfortable as well. Like,
And know your place. I mean, you can respect wanting to be close and close, or that continue to develop that relationship. But to be like, okay, you've got your dad, and then the ultimate is being your mum. I want to be like your mum.
It's
What?
really funny. It's really funny.
Oh gosh, he is very interesting. I didn't see this coaching side of him. He said he wants to be a life coach. I mean, I didn't realize that he was like that. I didn't pick that up in Salt Lake.
Like, I think what he was saying there is just him being a parent is like being a life coach, and that he would like
Oh,
to extend that parent side of him to Seth, his non-biological client, i.e. I want
to
to
Charlie, yeah.
provide, which I found is overstepping a mark because you're not Charlie's dad.
Absolutely.
And do
No.
you know what it reminded me of a little bit was in Beverly Hills when you had that episode with the mother in the garden. Oh God, I'm trying.
And
Like I hate
Garcelle.
that. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Yep,
just in
yep, yep,
terms of
yep.
just overstepping. There's a line in the sand where it's just not your business, and
Reba,
there's
yes.
another way that you could be engaging. But to be pushing that hard, which then means like you just have publicly called out Anwar as a father,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not cool. How's that
Not
actually going to
cool.
be helping Charlie? What
Not
would
your
be
place.
helping Charlie is saying that you know what, your dad is your dad and he's done so much good. You need to focus on the good. The things that he can't give you, how can you give them to yourself? Like what ways are you
Mm.
going? I can support. Like yeah, that wasn't great. That is just reinforcing the story of victimhood that Charlie's got going on in his head. It's not
Wow,
healthy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love how you articulated that because it's so true. It's
Yeah.
absolutely overstepping and yeah, how disrespectful to Anwar, whatever they have, whatever problems they have, that's their problem. You can't just come in and step in as his dad, like, you know, and try and
It
be
was
a father figure.
so awkward, but the way Charlie dealt with it was really funny as well. And just saying this, Anwar has come from a background, like we said before, different culture. The way he is obviously showing his love for his kids is through, you know,
Providing.
financially supporting them. And
Yeah.
there's so much good, like, you know, and if he's been tough on his kids, that will be just a cultural thing and discipline. It doesn't make Anwar this horrible parent. I hate it when people label
Yeah.
or you know make these assumptions. Like, can we not just see the good and then
Yeah.
work out the rest? You know, like yeah, really
Yeah.
overstep the mark.
Absolutely. And he can be loving and supportive to Charlie, and maybe they can have great conversations in a different dynamic that he doesn't have with his own dad. But to come in saying, like, that when he goes, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Does your dad say that he's proud of you? Nah. Too far.
Yeah, I wasn't into it. I
Too
wasn't into it at
far.
all.
Gross. That kind of just makes you want to go, nah, cut this off. Like,
Yeah,
he tries
and the
to. And,
pansexual
okay.
stuff I didn't like either. Like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like, oh, well,
Yeah.
that's what I'm trying to get, you know, trying to laugh about it. It's just very awkward because it was like, well, who's more active? Like, why do you need to know the sexual lifestyles of these kids?
Yeah,
Like, I
it's
don't
weird.
like that. Like
And the
that's
body count?
unnecessary. Yeah, all of that. Like, I'm not into that at all. So yeah, so Seth, I know he's quirky. I know there's a lot that I like about Seth. I don't think he's like a complete kind of parasite or like
No.
I just think there's that awkward part of him that he just wants to be funny and relevant, and it's like,
Yeah.
ugh,
It's a bit too
yeah,
much. It's a bit too
too
much.
much.
It's not authentic. Like, he's going too far. You can be if he's authentic, it'll be funny. But now
Right. If
he's
he was
overdoing it.
just driven by literally helping this kid as opposed to being funny or seen as funny, we may have had a different outcome. But talking of the cameos, because again, what just makes
Yes.
this shows is these wonderful, you know, I call them kids, but young adults. That just makes me so excited about the future. These wonderful young adults, obviously a bit of a challenged 27-year-old in the mix as well. And then the cameos from their parents. And so we've sort of discussed Charlie's mum, and Charlie's mum's partner. I thought it was very uncomfortable when Charlie's mum partner talked about that, like the size of the
Oh
slong and all that. That was
my
so
lord.
gross. Again, like, why are these
Overstepping.
older people doing this? Like, why are they? It's not funny. It's weird. Yes, man, that smart humor is not where it's at these days. Just
No.
let it go.
That
Yeah.
you can see them go, how do you
They're just like, ugh. Oh, so yeah, so we had them. I love Teresa helping out
Oh my
Gia with
gosh.
the party.
At the start, she's so funny. This is a side of her I like. See,
I
on
love
a Jersey,
this.
it brings out the really bad side of her, but she's so funny.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like now she's like, oh yeah, I lasered my chocolina. She calls it a chocolina, and she's talking about, you know, all of that. She's hilarious. She's so cute. She's actually funny.
She's
Just like,
so cute, and she's such a good mum. She always has been with those
yeah,
four
she has.
beautiful girls. But yeah, it's more that traditional homemaking.
I love it.
Like, it's so lovely. That's
And
what I
you,
mean. That's Teresa at her best. And I tell you what,
yep.
kids that are loyal to their parents, to both parents, she's never demonized the father. Like, that's incredible. How did she pull that off? You know, she has managed to keep those kids loving of both parents
True.
and loyal to both parents. Like, that is, and the way she was with her parents, you know, that's where you can see it, right? She literally is a family person. This is why I never trusted what was going on there with, yeah. Anyway, we won't digress. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Love her. She's so sweet.
I know how to make pizza. Typical like ethnic parents that do that to their kids. I have it with my mum still. Like, she'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, do you still know how to do this? Because my mum's such a great cook, very similar to Teresa in that sense. And it's like, mum, I know how to do it. It's fine, you know. But we do it this way. It's fine. It's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
god.
right. I love it when you were sort of telling me early on, like, how in your culture as well, like, you would just be slammed by certain, you know, they go, hey, you've put on some weight, like, what's going on or
Oh
whatever,
my
by different
gosh.
aunties and stuff. I
Yeah.
love that kind of more like, hey, keeping you
Authentic.
grounded, like larger
Definitely.
families like that are wonderful, and that type of thing is really important. So yeah, you can see it with Gia. It's super cool.
It's funny. You know what? I saw it. I don't know if this is a rumor or not, but there is a rumor that she gets fired. Have you seen that?
Gia gets fired.
Yeah. Bravo fires Gia. Apparently there was like she was being really hostile or something to certain cast members, and they had to make a call, and she got fired. I don't know how true. I don't know how true it is. I just saw it before.
That's a
Um,
bummer. I mean, I'll put it's going to be interesting to see how this whole season plays out. Like, there's going to be so much action going on. It's such a I mean, I like at the end of the day, Gia is going to be her mother's daughter, and Teresa is somebody that if you cross her or whatever, like
mm.
I mean, she's the original, the table kind of thrower.
I know. I didn't see that for her though. Anyway, and there's so
I
much that
didn't see
happens
it
on
as well.
Bravo. Like for it to be how bad could it be to get fired? Like you have to be pretty bad on Bravo to get fired. There a lot goes down.
You'd have to say I mean, you think about it, right? So you've got a couple of it should have to be like say something anti-trans, something really offensive to gay
Cancel.
people. Like
Yeah.
it would have to be like a cancellation type or physically. But physical, maybe that's where they just make a stance down. They're like, we just don't do physical violence anymore. It has to be something very serious. Yeah. Yeah. I've always loved Gia. I mean, the whole thing, what cracked me up with the difference between New York and New Jersey, like what you get in New Jersey. I mean, it's such a palace, this home. But the fact
I
that they
know.
have they've got, the guy, the pooper scooper guy. He came yesterday. Like, I want to be a pooper scooper girl. Like, we all know that I'm trying to rethink my
Oh
whole
my
career.
gosh.
And I'm more than happy to be a pooper scooper. Like, how easy is that job? Just come in. Like, done.
Yeah,
It's
man. You got to
amazing.
go to the rich side of where people pay for that stuff. Like wild. There is something, but in America, I feel like they've got like services and products for every tiny little niche thing, right?
Like
Like
air tasker and stuff. But yeah, like our pooper scooper guy. Like, so you got a pool guy, you got a pooper scooper guy, you got
I
a lot.
know a florist. You got someone doing it. It's like it's a lot. The
It's a whole
maintenance.
community that if you think back to those
Yes,
olden days where you'd have the castle and
the
the
aristocratic.
mate
Yeah,
all the different kind of skills you would need to support that, which would
right.
then support the whole community in that
It's this, and they
space.
have the staff. It's like the staff.
Yes.
Cool.
I
Yeah,
kind of like it, to tell the truth. It's a nice way to keep money flowing, keep it flowing in the community. It's good.
it
Yeah.
is. All right, Pooper Scoopers. Maybe we'll make it happen. I wonder if there are any in Australia. Pooper Scooper
Oh
guy.
my God, we need to look it up. Yeah,
That's
I want
so
to be
funny.
retrained. I'm ready for retraining.
What else is there? So, I actually loved seeing Sai. We met Sai and we saw him a little bit more. He seems like a really cool guy. Do you see how he sews and he
The
sewed his
curtains.
pants together? The curtains made him into pants. Very Brunswick, but he's so
Very
cool.
Brunswick. He's so cool. I like these
Mm.
kids, like I say, aesthetically, I love watching them move. Even with Cade, and it showed him like doing some vacuum cleaning or whatever in the fridge or whatever he was doing, like,
Yeah,
and he sort of falls. And there's some ways, and again, like while they're doing the sewing or whatever, they're just aesthetically, the way they move, they're like cats. Don't you think?
they're,
They're just
they're
so
cool.
freaking cool. I really like all these guys.
It's the
Yeah,
new. I
they're
reckon
really
it's the
cool.
New York vibe, right? They've all got cool
Yeah,
outfits. The cool hair, everything. Aesthetically, they're just like it's the vibe there.
gorgeous. Yeah,
Um, but you know what was
yeah.
funny when they were talking about? Was it Brooks? Brooks goes, "Are you still on your mum's phone plan?" He's like, "Yeah, I am. Are you on yours?" Yeah, they're still all on their parents' phone plans. They're just young and just funny. I'm just like, oh, how cute.
I know. It really is, isn't it? They're just sweethearts. I think for Riley, one of the things I noted this season, just, with that microaggression or whatever, but just being a bigger woman as well,
Mm.
like just being sort of built a bit differently, like the challenges there. Yeah. Yeah, against Ava, who's just like this gorgeous kind of slim model.
The model, yeah, it's different, and she's actually grown up in New York, so that's another thing.
Yeah.
Riley's
Y-
from the South.
Yeah, Atlanta. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Interesting. I'm just going to check my notes because.
Yes, check your notes. What else did I have? That was pretty much it that I had.
Yeah, same here. I just like them all so much.
I know. They yeah, they're interesting. I wonder how many episodes we're gonna get. But
Yep.
oh, you know who I noticed? Amira wasn't in this episode. I don't
Yes,
know
it must
why.
have been traveling.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Amira and Kevin. Yeah.
Kevin, that's right.
Yeah,
But I think
again,
we'll see.
so cool to watch. Kevin's lovely. Yeah, so yeah, this is it. So we'll have to see what happens like next episode. I can't wait. It's definitely like what did you prefer, Miami or this particular episode
Oh, I
of
don't
Next Gen?
know. I actually liked this one. I think I
I
like Next Gen.
I each
Yeah.
week Next Gen's been my favorite. Like so even though Miami's been great, like Next Gen is just a killer for me. It really is super cool. Like it's just something
Yeah.
that I come away feeling invigorated, feeling optimistic. Yeah, I really enjoy it. Really,
No,
really
it's
enjoy it.
cool. I know.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to see it unfold, and I'm loving getting to know the newbies and even the other ones, the housewives,
And the
next gens.
cameos, these parents that want to be
That
relevant
makes
and
it.
don't know how to communicate, like hilarious, really
I
kind of
know.
funny, but awkward, orcs, really orcs.
On that note, it's probably a good place to
Yeah,
wrap up.
great
All
place to
right.
wrap up. Good
Have a
stuff,
great
Nikki.
week, and we'll chat soon. Bye. Oh no.